Hey, welcome everyone. It's Pat Mitchell here with Trick Trades, and this is Fallout Shelter with Trick and Tino. This is my podcast, Trick Trades Podcast. I've got a co-host. His name is Tino. He's my right-hand man. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, people? Hey, it's great to be here, man. Finally got this thing rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, man. Probably 6 months.
Yeah, we talked about this for a while. You had a great idea, and I'm like, let's do it, man. So here we are.
Yeah, I mean, a lot, like this sort of stuff takes a lot of time. I don't think people realize how much time it takes. So now I think it's right, and I'm glad that I waited because for those members that don't know, and also for people that aren't members of Trick Trades that don't know, like Tino's my right hand man. Tino, he's the brains behind the whole Trick Trades website, and I mean he's helped me with so much. I mean, he's brilliant, and I'm glad I've met him. And
thanks, buddy.
He's not on screen share before we start blowing each other here. I mean, you got
to take me out to dinner first, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fuck. No, I'm a cheap fuck.
Mickey D's is good. I don't care.
but yeah, no. Tino's been a huge part of the success of Trick Trades and where we're headed in the future. So, first off, I guess we'll hear from Tino. I mean, a lot of people don't know who you are, Tino. So let's fill these guys in.
Yeah, I've been kind of flying under the radar here. I lived in Vegas the last 20 years. I was a bartender in the nightclubs out there. It was the craziest scene ever. And then, unfortunately, I had some family things happen. Both my parents passed away within a month of each other. So I moved back to New York to take care of some family issues. Mm-hmm. And while I was in New York, I wanted to get back into day trading because I had the time to do it. And I was searching around. I jumped in with Sykes again because I've done it before, but I figured that was the only thing going on, and I checked it out, and it is what it is, guys. I mean, I don't think there's any explanation about why I left that and did some more research.
Yeah, I mean, he's a brilliant marketer, but I mean, that's about it, right? I mean, you've actually, it's funny because you told me a story before when back in 2007 when you met Tim Sykes on a conference. Tell that, because that's so ridiculous, man.
So you got to remember the economy was booming back, especially in Vegas. Vegas was the epicenter, of the housing market, and the economy was just blowing up. So the mid 2000, like 2005, 2006, I started looking online. I always wanted to get into day trading, and all that was out there, it seemed like, was Tim Sykes. I mean,
he really was. Him,
he was.
Boos.
Yeah.
I think that was about it for the most part.
Man.
Yeah.
And, I was a naive, I never day traded before. So, of course, I'm hearing about how easy it is to make money in penny stocks. Oh, it's simple. You know what I mean? Make all this kinds of money. I'm like, wow, this sounds cool. I got the money to do it. Let's do it, So I bought every single one of his DVDs, the most boring things ever.
Yeah.
And he had a seminar in Vegas. So I was living there. I'm like, oh, perfect. I don't have to travel. So he has a seminar in Vegas. About 15, 20 people go. It's like a 2-day event. So one of the 2 days, there was an intermission there, and I walked up to him, introduced myself, and, trying to just schmooze him a little, saying,
yeah, for sure.
Thanks for putting this on. And he goes, oh, Tino, where do you live? And I go, oh, I live here in Vegas. He goes, oh, man, and you want to day trade? I'm like, well, yeah, that's why I'm here. He goes, oh, if I lived here, I could never do it. I would never day trade. You got to get up too early. That was his. I mean,
that's what he's telling you.
Here's this guy putting on this seminar telling me that he would never day trade. This guy that I'm kind of looking up to, like to follow, like here's this. He's telling me that if he lived in Vegas, he would never day trade. He wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, he's looking at you like you're a shithead for even
an idiot. and I'm sure you guys know Tim Sykes. The way he said it too. You know what I mean?
Total dick.
I just wanted to dot his I's, man. So so I walked out of that seminar. I was like, well, I guess I'm not day trading. I just spent all this money on these DVDs and this fucking seminar. And if he's telling me, he could never do it in Vegas, why would I think I could?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So, fast forward to now, I'm back in New York looking for some opportunities. I have this time here, and once again, jumped into Tim Sykes. That didn't last more than a few weeks. I quit that because it was just as bad as I could remember from the past. All those bad memories kept coming back. And I was doing some research on YouTube, man, just YouTubing people. And, man, I came across you, and you were like the most real person. Your videos, you were just breaking it down in a layman's terms, and you were not no bullshit.
Yeah.
You weren't promising all this money.
No.
You weren't doing all this shit. And I really had a connection. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to check it out. And I joined Trick Trades, and the fucking rest is history, buddy.
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of people don't know, like, I really am a caveman. I mean, I'm a welder first and foremost. I started apprenticing when I was in grade 11, and my dad's a welder. My brother's a welder. It's a whole family of welders, right?
It's good money, man.
Especially up here in Canada, in Alberta.
Oh, yeah.
It's oil country, and it's kind of funny because up here, if your dad or your mom was like a doctor or a lawyer, you got made fun of, and if you were your parents were tradesmen or tradespeople, tradespersons, that was normal. Right. Like, but like doctors and lawyers and white collar people, like when I go out to any type of a dinner party or any of that, and I hate the question. It's like, oh yeah, so what do you do for a living? I try and avoid that question like the plague, man. People probably think I'm like a drug dealer because I avoid the question. I
don't like telling people about it because what's the first thing they say? Oh, isn't that gambling?
Yeah.
Isn't that the first thing they say?
Yeah, or they look at you like they have almost like pity in your eyes.
like, oh, okay, yeah, that's good for you. You're a day trader. Okay, so what do you really do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, so that's your hobby. So what's your career?
Oh, so you're a dreamer. Okay.
Yeah. You're a complete waste of skin, are you? Yeah. Oh, so you don't have a job, is it? Oh. Yeah.
That's like, that's funny. It just reminds me, real quick story. It's pretty funny. Being in Vegas with all the crazy women out there,
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I would meet a girl and she'd say, I asked her what she does. She goes, well, I'm in real estate. I go, oh, so what strip club do you work at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, anyway, I didn't mean to get off that. That just totally reminded me of that story. Anyway.
Speaking of real estate, you were involved in real estate before the crash, correct?
Listen, guys, for all you people out there that are worrying about, losing money, this shit's going to happen. You're going to lose a couple bucks day trading. There's no getting around it.
Yeah.
When I was in Vegas, like I said, Vegas was the epicenter of the housing market. It was the biggest boom going on, right? The thing is, to get a loan back then was so easy, and I knew people that were lenders. They were giving away loans.
Yeah.
So I bought 3 properties. I bought 2 brand new condos and a big house, and these properties were going up in value every month by probably 20, 30,000. Every month they go up in value. So you could build a house. They break ground, and when it's done in 3 months, that house is worth 40 to 50,000 more than what you paid for it. So you could sell the house right away and make 50, 60 grand within 3 months.
Insane. Yeah.
Insane. So I bought these 3 properties, pre-construction, and when they were all done, I had 1.5 million on paper. I could have sold. My accountant said, Tino, it was 2006. He goes, Tino, look, why don't you cash out, man? Why don't you sell these properties? I mean, market's booming, and what do I do? Nah, why? It's going to keep going higher, man. The market's going to keep going higher. Why sell now? Why make 1.5 when I can make 3? And we all know how that story ends. 2008 rolls around, economy crashes. I lose everything. Everything goes into foreclosure. So I lost 1.5 million. Yeah. So, guys, when you're losing $100 a trade, $200 a trade, I know that's a lot of money, but in the big picture of life, it's not. There's always tomorrow, guys. You'll always be able to make that money. You can always come back, man. So
and what I like to put into perspective with people when they talk about losses and they're really down on themselves is think of the stupid shit that you spent like 100 or 200.
Oh God.
like I was telling Tino, I mean, I've been to the bulk barn, and the bulk barn, I don't know if you guys have it, but it's like, it's a bunch of like bulk candy and spices and shit. I mean, I've spent $100, $200, $300 on bulk candy before because well, I'm a shithead, right? But you know, it just goes to show that it doesn't matter, you know, like, don't worry about $100 or a couple $100. I mean, that's your tuition, guys. It really is. You have to spend money to make money. There's no way that you're going to get into day trading and unscathed. You won't.
You have to go into it planning on losing money. Like when you go to the casino, you bring money that you know you're going to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not saying you go to you want to lose the money. You don't, but you have to have that mindset that money's already gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what I did when I started day trading. I'm like, you know what? I've got this money. It's okay if I lose it. Does it suck to lose it? Fuck yeah, man. Who wants to lose money? But that's part of the process.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
and it's totally part of the process. You know, I get people that come in and they instantly, they want to make money. Well, I need to make money. You don't need to make shit. That whole, I gotta make money. Why? You don't even know what the hell you're doing, and what you're gonna come in and just make money. Like it's just easy. Like all these dickheads make it out to be. It's just easy. That's the first thing I reset people is their mentality on that. It's like, no. You need to get the process down first, guys. It has the stock market is bizarro world. It really is. It's the opposite. The opposite needs to apply. Okay, so this is what I like to say. The market's bizarre world, right? So what does that mean? So, okay, in your day-to-day job or life, right, outside of the stock market, if you're wrong even once, people look at you and you're basically a pariah, right? You're an idiot. They look at you weird. They snicker behind your back. So you come into the stock market with that mentality. Right? Like, oh man, you start hiding your losses. You don't want to say anything. And, you know, it's like, oh, I don't want to tell anyone I took a loss. Gives a shit, guys. You need to be more comfortable with your losses than your wins, period. You have to. That is such a necessity. Don't worry about it, guys. For the members that have heard me on screen share, when I take a loss, it's almost like breathing air, man. Like, it doesn't matter, man. You know, it doesn't matter, and it can't matter. And I know a lot of people that are probably listening have small accounts and, you know, stuff like that. So does any type of loss hurt? Sure it does. But you know what? Just size down. Don't worry about making money right now, guys. You know, I mean, that's one of the biggest things is, you know, people come into the market and they get told by these guys like Sykes and all that, and with their millionaire students. Well, first of all, he's got 3 or 4 millionaire students out of probably 100,000 members throughout the years. It's a horrible percentage, guys, right? So, of course, he's only going to tell you about those and not the ones that are shit in the bed. And the ones that are shit in the bed are the ones that aren't studying, right? That didn't review his 3,000 some video lesson.
5,000.
Oh, 5,000.
You know how painful that was to watch those videos, man? Like, I mean, my eyes were bleeding.
I can imagine.
Jesus, man.
You know, like, cut to the fucking chase. Give me an entry signal, brother. Come on.
Or just make one video, because every video says the same goddamn thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you just short it at the top when it, you know, whatever.
It's like,
could have done one video instead of making 4,000, you know?
Yeah. Buy the breakout. Just buy the breakout.
And
that's what instead of Fallout Shelter, it should have been Buy the Breakout.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That reminds me, man. How did you come up with Fallout? There's a meaning behind that. Fallout Shelter. Like, why did you name it Fallout Shelter?
Fallout Shelter is, I mean, that's what Trick Trades is, right? It's a fallout shelter from basically the nuclear fallout that is day trading gurus. Right? All these trading chat rooms that are out there, guys, there's a lot of really bad information, and that's why I started Trick Trades. You know, maybe I'll touch on that here first. So the reason why I started Trick Trades, and I get pissed off because every guy and his dog has a chat room. Okay, they're regurgitating all the same information. It's all the same shit. It's nothing new. You know, they're not taking a new approach to it. It's all a bunch of It's a bunch of nonsense, right? They got a bunch of fancy indicators up on the charts, make them look like. I've seen people's charts. There's a trading chat room that's out there that the one guy, when he does his live streaming, it's got the cloud, it's got Bollinger Bands, it has every single moving average that you could possibly have. It has the triple banded fucking VWAP, RSIs, MACD.
It's like
Holy shit, you
man.
can't even see the price action, guys. It's
Yeah.
insane. And the reason why this shithead does it is to make himself look like he knows what he's doing to unsuspecting subs.
Right.
That's what it is, and that's what it boils down to. He's trying to make himself something to be that he isn't, right? And you have to. What I want to do with Fallout Shelter, as well as Trick Trades, is I want to show people the light. I want to show them that, guys, I have made. I'll put it this way: I have made a very good living off of simplicity. It's funny because my trading style is so simple. It's so simple. There's a couple of advanced chart theories that I do use and is a very big part of my strategy. But other than that, the setups are very simple. It's just knowing the right time to get in the trade and this. But and that.
How did you fine tune? Like, how did you figure that out? Like, there's when you talk about, because it amazes me when you sit there and you psychologically explain these charts and you're like, okay, this is going to go up here because all these shorts up here bought in. The way you explain it, how did you know how to do that? Like, how did you figure that out?
See, it's funny because I do get asked this all the time, and I get asked this question, and they always ask, oh, so who was your mentor, right? And, well, I never had a mentor. I was involved with one day trading chat room. I lasted about a week. I couldn't stand it. It just wasn't for me, okay? And at that time, there just wasn't a lot of good information out there. There just wasn't, right? There was a lot of just marketing. So I kind of retreated into my cave, into my office, and I stared at charts and I just had to figure it out. What makes stocks go up and what makes stocks go down? Stocks going up, everyone thinks, oh, it's just buyers buying. No, man. No, that's a small portion of it. There's a lot, and more has to do with shorts covering. Shorts and short selling is such a huge part of the stock market that's what really drives stocks up. When you get those big spikes, it has to do with certain areas on a chart, and I call it my line in the sand theory. Right. Once it breaks in certain areas, it goes crazy. Right. So, I really I figured it out myself. And, it's funny because people, one sec, okay?
Yeah.
So people ask me that all the time, and they're like, well, you had to have been shown. No, guys, I'm telling you, there is more. Like, never judge a book by its cover. Because I've got a beard and I've got 2 full sleeves of tattoos and I look a little rough around the edges and I fucking swear every second word, right? Guys, don't judge a book by its cover. Right. Don't underestimate people because of how they look. I mean, that's really a bad idea.
Yeah, okay. Totally, man. I remember that one example you did though. You were showing us in a room about maybe it was Nvidia. Nvidia went up really high one day. It comes back down, and it shoots up real quick with a big green candle, and then just tanks. And you knew. You stayed in that short, even though that big green candle was in there. You didn't get freaked out, and you said, "That's market makers just grabbing those shares. Don't be scared of that candle." Like, how did you know that? How did you know that's market makers?
It's just through time, man. It has a lot to do with screen time, right? And a lot has to do with, like, everyone thinks like trading has to do with fundamentals or technicals or a collection of both. Okay, some sort of mixture of both. It's not. It all boils down to psychology. Okay.
Yeah.
The psychological aspect of trading is huge. Any asshole can read a chart. Any asshole can read a balance sheet. Okay. It has to do with psychology. What a intraday or daily chart, but especially the intraday 1 minute, 5 minute, 3 minute chart is that is pure human emotion, raw human emotion translated and put to paper or put to computer screen for our right. That's what it is. And once you start looking at these stock charts that way and stop looking at it just from a one-tiered with your horse blinders on type of mentality, and you start seeing that and reading these candles as emotion, and that's all it is. Because guys, what is the most emotional instigator with humans? Money, correct?
Money, yeah.
Money and love, right?
Yeah.
But mainly money, let's be real. Okay. So when it has to do with money, that's when you will see people for who they really are. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what gets translated onto these stock charts. It's all emotion over money. And once you realize that and you start looking at these charts that way, oh fuck, man, you got her licked. Are you still going to be wrong? Yeah. Because you're still trying to deal with emotions of millions of people, right? So it's a little difficult. But for the most part, once you get this idea, okay, that's why I really recommend the line in the sand. I really, and I don't want to seem like I'm trying to promote a product, because I promise you guys, Fallout Shelter podcast is not about self-promotion. It really isn't. It really isn't. Okay.
But when you look at that chart that you go over on that DVD, and you'll look at it totally differently, and you'll look at every other chart after that.
You'll never be the same.
Yeah. And you know what? You brought up a good point. I remember one time, maybe a month or so ago, you said, don't plan on what you think the chart's going to do. Plan on what you think other traders are going to do.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah. You never want to, you don't really want to think like the masses. Don't get those words mixed up, people.
Right.
Don't think like sheep, but you want to think like the sheep. But you don't want to base your trade off of a sheepish type of trade, right? You want to look at these trades, because the majority of people, guys, let's be real. They're fucking idiots. The majority of people are morons. Okay. I don't know how the fuck they tie their shoes in the morning and brush their teeth. I think the majority of people are fucking morons. Okay. And I'm just being real. And if you're able to, think like them, realize what the masses are going to do, you can be on the opposite side of that trade. And that's why the contrarian thinker and the contrarian trader will always do better. The reason why there's a 90 and a 10%, whatever the real number is, guys, nobody knows, that whole 90%, 10%. So I'll break it down for those people that don't know. 90% of traders fail. Okay, 10% of traders make it. Now, nobody knows the real number. That's one of the biggest misconceptions of the whole 90-10.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. There's no way to track it, right? But it's because 90% of people are fucking morons, man. You know, they don't read the actual news article. They read the headline, and then they wonder why that stock stuffs, because 3 sentences into the actual news story, you realize that, oh shit, that news wasn't good. It was actually bad. It was just a attention grabbing headline, right?
Yeah.
So, once you start thinking like that, guys, you can really do some good. And are you going to be wrong? Yeah, you're still going to be wrong. Guaranteed. I mean, anyone that says that they aren't, or run for the hills.
I mean, what's your thought though on, I think people think it's easy because social media, right? I mean, they see all these P&Ls and they're like, oh, I can do that. I mean, this guy's making 20, 30 grand in a day. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. See, social media is so wrong. First and foremost, you never want to compare yourself to other traders whatsoever. That's why the whole posting your P&L thing, I think is so detrimental to other traders. And I really think it's wrong. I get my balls busted because I don't post my P&L. It's nobody's business. And I really do believe that it's detrimental to other traders, because new and struggling traders will see that and they want to keep up. They want to keep up to you, right? There's a couple people that are involved with trick trades that I screenshot my P&L and the whole nine, and I send it to them each and every day. So, I mean, if you ever want to know, you can fucking ask them and they'll back me up 100%. Okay. But there's a reason why I don't. Everything I do for a reason. I truly do. There's nothing random about anything I do. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. It's all laid out, and it's done for a reason, and it's done for the benefit of members and people that I'm trying to get through to. That's what I do. I really do live for this shit, guys. Right? And you see these people on social media, and they're fucking guys claiming they're taking 40,000 shares in Netflix while off of a cell phone while they're in a meeting with their feet up.
But people believe it, man.
Oh, they do believe it. They get so blinded by selling them the dream, right?
Yeah.
That they don't think that, man, but Netflix is a $300 stock. Why do you need 40,000 shares? Because they're looking at it from penny stock mentality.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking 40,000 shares of Netflix people. Nobody. No.
And you know what? You can't emulate these guys that are truly successful either, because, I just saw a post on Twitter from that Steven Ducks guy. I mean, the guy's gifted trader.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's successful.
Yeah.
Got nothing but respect for the guy.
Yeah.
But he posted that he made $900,000 last month.
Yeah.
And then he made, I forgot what the amount of money he made in that day he posted was on a stock that got halted 6 times.
Yeah.
So these people don't look at that. They see the numbers and all the zeros after the number, and they're like, oh man, I want to be like that. So they like I said, I got nothing but respect for the guy, but what he does is dangerous for other people.
No, it is. It is dangerous, because that's what people try and emulate him and his trades. And I'll tell you what, fucking Steven Ducks. All right, guys, you're not. Don't try to be like him. Be like yourself. Okay, you know what, guys? Talking about big P&Ls and all of this shit, okay? I got into day trading. I gave up now, because I was a contractor, nothing was guaranteed, but I'm a very well-respected contractor in the area that I live in, welder. Used to run my own welding truck and pipeline and facility work and fabrication of pipe. And I was making anywhere between 200,000 and 360, I think was my best year, or 380 was my best year.
Man.
I gave up, and that was guaranteed because my name was always growing and, like I said, well respected. So I could guarantee that much money. Okay. I didn't give a shit. I gladly gave that up. Okay. And I also gladly got out of a marriage where she wasn't supporting me in this. So you have to follow your dreams.
Huge, man.
Right? Like, this is what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to do this. I've always had that bug to be involved in the stock market. And if someone's not going to stand behind you, you need to cut them loose. Grow a set of nuts, boys and girls, and cut them loose. Okay.
I mean, how important is it to you that you have a partner you're with that totally believes in what you're doing, instead of looking at you like, oh, what are you, gambling? You know what I mean? I mean, how important is that?
That is the world to me.
Yeah.
Chrissy is my right hand, I mean, she's so, people, when I tell them how supportive she is, you would think she's, and I'm telling you guys, it hasn't always been making what I'm making. Okay. Trading. There's rough times too, guys. And she never batted an eye. Never once. Never once. Never once. Anytime I had to refund blow an account, it was okay. Well, do it. And I'm, because I was making that much welding, guys, don't think that I didn't have big bills at the time too. Okay. Like money's tough all over. I don't want people to think that things were just easy. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, to scrimp and to save and to put money in that, you know, I probably shouldn't have put in, but man, this is what I wanted to do. You got to bleed for this shit, guys.
And you got to surround yourself with like-minded people that believe in your dream too, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really important because, you know, if you're going to hang around, I mean, if you got friends that don't believe in it, then don't talk to your friends about it.
Them.
You know what I mean?
Don't ever talk to them again.
Yeah. You know,
like don't even think twice, people. I don't give a shit who it is. Friends or family, cut them. If you want to do something in life, this is your life. I don't think people realize how short 80 years is. That's all we get on this planet, guys. That's it. That's it.
And, you know, Pat, that brings me to my next point I wanted to talk about real briefly. With what I went through with my parents and everything, and I packed up my life in a car and drove back to New York with no job, nothing.
Yeah.
Just because I knew I wanted to be with my mom. Yeah. That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
And I want you people to understand, all you listeners out there, all you guys that have this dream of being a day trader, you're going to do it, but you're going to stumble. And you got to remember that there's always tomorrow. And stop thinking about what could happen.
Yeah.
What could happen? Oh my God, if I don't make this money, I won't be able to do this. Or, oh my God, what about it in a year if that doesn't happen? Guys, who cares about
the what ifs? The shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and the what ifs will kill you.
The future hasn't happened yet. It's not reality. Reality is right now in this moment. Focus on today. Focus on today and take it one day at a time. And like one of my favorite movies, Tom Hanks' Castaway, there's a scene in that movie at the end where he's sitting on a couch and he goes, he's lost everything. His life is starting over. And he says, tomorrow the sun will rise and you never know what the tide will bring in. That's how you got to look at it, man.
Yeah.
Guys, you're going to have losses. I had huge losses, huge, millions of dollars. Yep. My parents are gone. But I can't sit here and dwell on what's going to happen. I can only the only thing I can control is right now. And that's what you guys got to do. You got to control what you can do today. If you lose money, fuck it. You can always make more money. I'm living proof of that. Yeah. You know? I mean, Pat, you must have stumbled, right?
Oh, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, multiple blown up accounts, guys. I mean.
What was your biggest loss?
Oh, geez. I mean, I would say my biggest loss would have been a rabbit hole. And basically, I blew up an account, and I was up quite a bit. And do you guys know what the rabbit hole is? Well, the rabbit hole is basically when you get involved in a bad trade, you take a loss. It's not even a bad trade. It's just a loss. Okay? You take a loss. And then you take another trade. And it was the first loss was probably a pretty big loss. And you probably shouldn't have taken another trade. You should have just shut it down for the day. And then you take a secondary trade and you take another loss. Now you're pissed, right?
Now you're chasing that one.
Yeah, that's right. And then you take a revenge trade, right? And it's a loss because it's an emotional trade. And you get your ass handed to you. Now the rabbit hole begins because now you're trying to make back that money and you just see red. And that's what happens. You're red.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a pretty big loss. But to be honest, though, I've never had these $70,000 losses that you see these fucking ramrods take. And I know people say, "Oh, it's all relative to the account size." And yeah, for the most part,
a lot of money.
There's a certain someone that took a $77,000 loss, and just today, and his account isn't that big. People think it's like some huge account, and it's not, because one halt took him out, and that tells me that it's not that big of an account if one halt took him out and he couldn't trade for months. Okay, you know, like. That is piss poor risk management. Okay. It really is. That to take a loss like that after doing this for this long is unacceptable behavior. If you consider yourself a professional, you shouldn't be taking losses like that. That's how I look at risk management. Okay. Yeah. I at any point during the day, see, I get my balls busted. People say, "Oh, you don't take losses." Yeah, I do. I take losses all the time. At any point during the day, my P&L can swing anywhere between, I can be down a good $5,000 very easily on the day, but I don't give a shit, guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You cannot look at it. You need to think how to properly manage your risk. And if another opportunity comes up, take the trade. And that's it. I am always one trade away from going green. That's the beauty with playing stocks with range, folks. Okay?
Yeah.
But as for big losses, nah, man, like I've never traded that way. It's funny because I have, a very addictive personality. Like that'll be another episode for sure, guys, when I'll give you my whole dirty background. Like it's pretty crazy that I'm actually still ticking, right? But because of my addictive personality, it's funny because as a day trader, I got over that really quickly. Where that whole gambling mentality and just like fucking going all in and doing stupid shit. You got to learn from your mistakes, guys. If you don't learn from your mistakes, I mean, you'll never make it, right? So, but don't ever give up. I mean, you need to learn from these mistakes. And
was there a point where, when you went full time and you took a big loss and you sat down and you looked at yourself and you're like, man, what the fuck did I do? I gave up this great job. I took a big lot, man. Did you have self-doubt? Were you ever like?
Yes. Yeah. When I first went, and it's funny because when I first went full time, I talked myself up, had this big come to Jesus speech when I first went full time, and I was fine with it. I convinced myself that I wasn't going to take emotional trades and I wasn't going to be emotional while I was trading. I'm good at what I do. I'm going full time for a reason. I've proven consistency. I can fucking do this. Fast forward to the first week. So the first week was rough. Okay. Ended up taking a couple losses just because they were emotional covers and emotional sells, because I was scared to lose because the weight of the world was now on my shoulders.
Yeah.
I've got an ex-wife. I have got my son. Now there's no like crazy, I'm really on really good terms with my ex. We talk all the time. We just realized we just weren't right for each other. So, I mean, that's all good. Right. But so, I mean, I still take care of them. Take care of my son, of course. Love that knucklehead. But, instantly you start seeing flashes of your loved ones in your mind's eye, their faces, and you don't want to fucking let them down, man. Right?
Yeah.
So that was basically a full week of that, and definitely took some losses. I was down quite a bit, and then over that weekend, that's when I started doing an emotional journal. That's really big, guys. Tracking your trades is one thing, but tracking your mentality and your emotions is the biggest fucking thing that you could do. Start doing it today. Those shitty trades you took today, write it down in a journal and tell yourself how you fucked up, what you could have done to do it better, and then end it on a positive note. Never end it on a negative note. Okay? So start doing that today. Do that. I'm telling you, do it. And that's when I really, I got my shit together, and I just, really, just had one of those, how we all have these conversations with ourselves, right? We all talk to ourselves. Yeah. I mean, anyone that claims they don't talk to themselves is full of shit. I mean, I talk to myself all the time, man. I find it helps, and talking to yourself while you're in a trade works really well. And I don't mean in your head, right? Say it out loud. Who gives a fuck? What your woman's going to look at you funny, or your dog or your cat's going to look at you all cross-eyed? Who gives a shit? Right?
I did do that, man. I took your advice doing that, and
Yeah.
it does make a difference.
It's a huge difference.
Because when you hear it,
Yeah.
it's totally different than
It's
thinking.
real. Yeah, it becomes real to the world, right? When you get locked in your own mind and your own body, right? When you're locked in, nothing's real. It's still fantasy land. But when you say something loud and proud to the world, now you got to fucking do it. It's almost like a mind muscle type of connection that's so important. It's so important. I can't stress that to people enough. It's so important.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And you got to really think outside of the box, guys. Right? Like it's you got to try things that are going to be crazy. You know, I'm a big fan of crazy.
You have to you have to make yourself uncomfortable, man. You got to expand your comfort zone. You got to jump out of that comfort zone. You know what I mean? You know, I did a trade a couple of weeks ago. I bought Netflix. I thought I was buying 30. I bought 300. It tanked. I didn't even think, you know, I didn't care that it was going down, but I didn't know I bought 300 until about 10, 15 minutes later, I was down $800.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Talk about being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Man. So I got out of the trade. I didn't guys, do not sit there and analyze it. Just get the fuck out of the trade and deal with it, man.
Yeah.
So now you've just put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. You lost that money. But guys, like I said, there's always tomorrow, man. Take that loss, learn something from it. I'm actually glad that I did that because I felt good because I told myself, now I know what it feels like to go through that. Now I know I won't do that again. And now I'm one step closer to being succcessul. And that's kind of how you
need to take some sort of a big loss. Like when you're asking me if I've ever taken a big loss, yeah. Like I've had like big losses, not any of these stupid losses though. I just don't trade like that. But I've had big losses. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I don't want to put that out there like I don't want people to think that I haven't taken a big loss. No. I've taken a big loss. I've just never taken some stupid $50,000, $100,000 loss. No.
That's ridiculous.
That's nonsense. You got to manage your risk a little better than that, right? And I'm big on risk management. Always have been. That it's so key. It's so crucial. It's so important.
Yeah. Now, what would you say to these people that come into the room? Like, say you get new members that come in, and the reason they're day trading is because they need to make that money. What would you tell them?
I always tell them to cut that shit out first and foremost, and it's in those words exactly. I tell them to cut that shit out. Cut it out. That's nonsense. You don't need to make anything. You don't gotta do anything. But Pat, I gotta make money. I gotta pay my bills. Well, then you shouldn't have quit your job, dipshit.
Right.
What are you doing quitting your job? That's like, and it really is, and I know other people have used this analogy, but it's true though. It's really true. That's like if I were to just walk in, push Surgeon James aside and say, I got this. Step aside.
Yeah.
I got this. And then like say scalpel, bone saw, and start hacking open someone's fucking head, their brain tape, their skull, right? Like what?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Mental patient. You can't do that.
And the sad thing about that is those are the people that give day trading a bad name because those are the people that are like, oh, I tried it and it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
But they went in with the wrong attitude and the wrong motive, you know? I mean, you can't do this. It is the wrong
attitude, folks.
You can't do this if you have to make the money. You know what I mean? You can't. It's too much pressure on yourself. You're going to crash and burn. You know?
Yeah, you can't. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, don't be quitting your day jobs, guys. I know you want to. Trust me, you want to, but you've got a long road ahead. And I've been doing this for 6 years plus now. And guys, I'm not done yet. You're never done. And you're still going to make mistakes, right?
So what do you think about, these gurus out there that are saying, they swindle these people and they're believing that they can make $2,000-$3,000 a day trading these penny stocks?
It's total bullshit. Stop believing that, guys. Stop believing, and especially these small account challenges. Don't believe that shit because you got to remember, just because they can build a small account from 500 to 100,000 in X amount, a month or 2 months, whatever the fuck that ponytail fuck did, don't worry about that. Okay, you're not going to be able to emulate his trading, and he's also a professional. Now, I did a small account challenge, but in typical Trick Trades fashion, I showed how to do it properly and safely, not taking massive risk. I built my small account of $1,000. Actually, it was like 1,180, 300% in a month off of 100 share positions. Okay. I only traded 100 shares with a maximum of 300 shares, but the majority, probably 80% of the trades were off of 100 shares. So I wanted to show. Now, for you to do that, you're not going to be able to do that off the hop. That's not what I was trying to show. What I was trying to show was you don't need massive position size, opening yourselves up to massive risk to make money. Okay. Now, did Mr. Ponytail build it like 1,000% or whatever the fuck it would have worked out, whatever it was? Yeah, sure. But that's not what I was trying to prove, guys. Like you're not going to come in like some sort of John Wayne swinging dick and be able to pull off $1,000, $2,000 a day. I hate when people say, "Oh, I got to make $1,000 a day." The fuck do you know about $1,000 a day?
Yeah.
You're not. Most of you aren't making $1,000 a day in your day job. So why do you need to make $1,000 a day trading? Oh, because that guy did it, or he does it, or that guy that trades 40,000 shares of fucking Netflix does it. Get out of me.
Yeah.
It's such bullshit. Quit believing all that shit, guys. I'm telling you, stop. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't worry about it. Get the process done first. Get that down. Get it down.
Yeah. Well,
and then the money will come.
I remember when I first joined with you, anybody that comes from, the gurus out there that are trading these penny stocks, they see the numbers, they see the zeros, and that's what they're accustomed to. And when they see a proper stock, a high price stock, they're like, well, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
But what you opened my eyes to was like, these things have fucking range, man.
Oh,
like
huge range.
Points and points.
Yeah.
And
100 shares can make you thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that Amazon trade I did a week or so ago, 5 shares. That's it.
Yeah. And 200 points he got on that. That stock moved 200 points. That's incredible, man.
That was an anomaly. I mean, that was a crazy trade.
Yeah.
But and that Amazon's over $1,000. I would have never thought I could afford a $1,000 trade.
See, and here's the thing, and I want to say, so Tino's still working on the process, right, guys? So here's the thing. Let's say a couple years from now, a year from now, whatever the fuck, 5 years from now, when it's no longer 5 shares of Amazon, now he's comfortable with how that stock moves. Now it becomes 100 shares of Amazon. So that 100, or hell, depending on how big of an account he has, what if he took 1,000 shares of Amazon? Now that's a big position in Amazon, folks. I know it doesn't sound like big to you coming from Pennyland, but 1,000 shares of Amazon's massive. But let's just say, for example, for the sake of argument, he took 1,000 shares of Amazon. Well, he made 200 points on that. So what's 200 times 1,000? 200,000.
Yeah, it's insane.
So it goes to show, and don't be afraid because the market doesn't know your size, right? Like, don't be afraid to size up over time, right? When I'm telling people to use 100 shares and 50 shares, that's to get the process down. And then once you get the process down and you've gained consistency, now you start sizing up slowly but surely. You start sizing up really slow. Now, when I say fucking slow, I mean it, guys. Quit jumping from 100 shares up to 1,000, then up to 2,000, then up to, stop that. Slow. So emotionally, your body and your mind doesn't even notice, okay, that you're going up in size. This is a slow process. The ones that do this shit slow, are the ones that will do this the rest of their lives. There are people that you guys listening to this right now hand clap for and cheer on Twitter that, mark my fucking words, will not be around in 5 years. They will blow up, and I don't give a shit how big their accounts are, guys. I've seen people like that come and go, man.
Yeah.
You want to follow people for being consistent, okay? Consistency is king.
I mean,
cut it out with the P&L bullshit.
I joined you in November.
Yeah.
And now I play NVIDIA, Netflix, Amazon, and I still haven't increased my share size.
It takes time.
Because I want to get the process down.
Yeah.
But, and you know, it's like I said, it's not about the money. It's about, I want the trade to work.
Yeah.
And you open my eyes to the range. And if you would have told me, you know, if you would have asked me last summer, hey, why don't you buy Netflix? I'm like, what are you, crazy? That's like $300 stock.
Yeah, you don't have any edge in Netflix.
Oh man,
you don't have any edge playing high price stocks. Yeah,
yeah. So I still haven't increased my share size.
Yeah,
I play minimal size, man, because if I lose, hey, I lose. It's not going to kill me, and it's a learning experience.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got to thank you for doing that for me. I mean, you know, I popped my cherry with you for short, and I shorted G the first trade. The first day I was in your trade room.
Yeah. No, I remember. No, I've got a stupid memory.
Yeah. I was sweating bullets, man.
Yep.
Oh my God. Short and G. Holy shit. I've never done this before. And I got it. And I think I shorted it for like 20 cents, and I felt so good about it.
Yeah, man.
But I took myself and put myself in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, you have to.
And now I have no problem doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
like second nature, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And give it another 6 months, and you know, you're still trading with smaller size, man, you'll go up. You know, and then that's when the money comes in.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like right now, like if you took 100 shares of NVIDIA, you can still make close to $1,000 on a good trade. Like easily. It moves 10 points very easily, guys.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, you know, you can still make really good money. Don't think that because you're only taking 50, 100 shares of these higher price stocks that you're only going to make like $50. Just no. No, not at all. You can still make like $500, $1,000 very easily.
Guys, that's a good payday, man.
Yeah, man. Damn straight.
You do that 5 days a week? That's good money.
And think of what you were risking to make that 1,000. What? Maybe $50?
Yeah. Like, you know what I risked on Amazon? I risked $20.
There you go. He risked $20 to make 200 points, folks.
$20.
Yep.
And I got you to thank for that, you know, because you opened my eyes.
Oh,
and
you're welcome, motherfucker.
All you people out there listening can do it, you know. You just got to listen to what Pat says.
Yeah. I just want people to listen. It's very frustrating for me when people don't listen. When I see that they took a big loss on some stock on some penny stock that we're not even supposed to be trading. And it's like, or they ask me in chat, it's like, oh, so what do you think of this stock? And I look it up and it's some like low float runner on the day. It's like, I don't give a shit about that stuff. That's some flavor of the day Twitterverse bullshit that I don't care about. I don't care. I have up on our screen share, I do have the biggest gainers and biggest losers. The biggest gainers on the day are always penny stocks. I never look at it. I don't give a shit about them. I don't care. I don't care. They're such a waste of time. They really are.
Yep, and you can lose your ass.
Yeah, you're gonna lose your ass, man. Yeah, you'll lose your ass. They're not for. It's not how these guys make it out to be. They make it out to be like the penny stocks and the cheap price stocks are good for new traders to build their accounts. No, wrong. Not even close.
I had no idea, dude. I thought that was the way to go because they were cheap enough. They were affordable.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, exactly. Because you could take a lot of shares. Nah, man. But then what? You're risking, or let's say you buy 1,000 shares of a $1 stock. Okay. So it only moves 10 cents. So you make $100. Well, no, sorry. Hold on a sec. That's kind of a bad example. Let's go to like a $3 stock, right? So you got some stock that's up from $1 all the way up to $3. Okay, it's running, right? So you're trying to get a piece of it, and you go long 1,000 shares, and it pops up another 10 cents. Ooh, woohoo! You made $100.
Yeah.
Within the next blink of an eye, there's an offering or some bullshit, or someone sells on a low float, and there's no volume, and it drops out 50 cents to a point. So you lost $500 or $1,000 on your small account. You're wiped out.
Yeah.
Over what, guys? $100? You made 10 cents? Guys, I wouldn't even know how to take 10 cents as a trade. I really wouldn't. 10 cents is a spread on the stocks I play, man.
Yeah.
Like, 10 cents is such a waste of my time. I can't even, if I don't make at least 50 cents on a trade, and even 50, anything under a point, it's just like, meh.
Isn't that crazy how spoiled you are?
Yeah, I know, man. I know. And it's funny because I get hit up on social media and on like YouTube and Twitter all the time, and people think it's just I'm bullshit. I fucking love that. You clown shoes have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. Because because they've never seen it done before, right?
Right.
You know, they see people scalping out for 10 and 20 cents, and then they see some guy that does hit bottoms and sell tops and then short the tops back down. Like I did on fucking Baba yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? I literally hit the bottom and I rode it all the way up to the very top and sold. And then I shorted it back down. I missed the cover on that. I could have made 3 points on the short, but I missed the cover. I set a stop, and then I had to run to town. And by the time I got back home, it double topped, and then it just chopped for the rest of the day. And I even said in chat, it's going to stop shorts out. It's going to pop up, stop shorts out, and then dump into the close. And it did exactly that. But because I was away from my desk, I missed that cover on the way down. I got stopped out. I had to hit it. I had to set a hard stop. So I set a hard stop, and it was like, fuck, if it stops me, I'll stop me out. I already made 10 points. So I made 10 points on Baba, and I missed a cover for 3 points. You know, like I do this shit all the time, guys.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not trying to come off like some sort of like arrogant asshole that, this is what I do. Right? No. I'm just trying to show you guys that the potential is there, and I can show you how to do it because nothing I do is crazy or you need to be a rocket scientist to understand. It's super simple. It's super simple methods.
It is.
They're really simple. You know, I pride myself on my simplicity. Why would you want to make things overly complicated? Making money's hard enough. Let's make it easy.
Right. Yeah.
Right? You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, that kind of brings me to that's what we're going to be doing with Fallout Shelter. We're going to be showing you guys, you know, like our little catchphrase, you know, protecting day traders from the stock market apocalypse. Yeah, man, that's exactly what we're doing. You know,
we're going to have a lot of fun, man, with it. I'm really looking forward to it. And, you know, all you listeners out there and the members, I think you can tell, you know, Pat had all these great ideas, and I said, you know what? You're right. We need to make this different. And that's why when you go to this website, you go to tricktrades.com, you see the graphics, you see what we say. It's totally different than anything out there. We don't want to be an uptight suit with a stick up their ass telling you what
you
to
see
do.
These other chat rooms and they take pictures and they're wearing suits and ties. Are you serious? You've got a home office and you're wearing a suit? Oh, really? Are you? Oh, yeah, bullshitter. Right there. Right. You're full of shit. You're full of it, man.
So we wanted to raise the bar, and I think we set the bar pretty high because we want to be so different that people take notice and they want to see what's going on, you know? And I guarantee in a year you're going to see copycats out there, you know?
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. Yeah. All of their trading websites are going to be all dark and flames and the fucking badasses with tattoos and shit.
And smoking bowls while they're talking. Like everybody thinks smoking bowls.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny, man.
It's my vaporizer, people.
Yeah.
I used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and now it's a vaporizer, and it's just nicotine juice in it. And I'm down to like 1 milligram. I'm not smoking dope. Yeah, fucking.
But you know what? That's something else that's different. They're like, dude, have you listened to this trick trades guy? He's smoking bowls while he's talking about trading. You know what I mean? So
that's funny.
We're always going to set the bar. And I hope all you guys out there like what you see, because we got a lot of cool shit down the pipeline, man.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming up, guys. So please do us a favor. I don't ask for much. Tino asks for nothing. I don't ask for much. I ask for a little bit. I don't ask for much. Hit the share button. Come on, share this link. Let people know, hey, man, this guy's different. These guys are different. Come on, help a guy out. Let's get this information out there. We got to get this information out there. We got to take down guys that have completely ruined you mentally and financially. They've ruined you. You know they have, and you know who I'm talking about. So let's get some good information out there, and let's really spread the word. Help a guy out.
Yeah. And guys, feel free to reach out to myself too. I'm here for emotional support. Pat's your guy. He's your guru. He's your guy. But if you're having trouble with something going on emotionally with you, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, man.
I've been to hell and back, guys. I've lost over $1 million, and I'm still here with a good attitude. And you know what? I'll post a link with this podcast where you can read the post I made on Facebook explaining my situation. And it's an inspirational post. And I want you guys to read it to know that there's always hope out there. You know, you guys are in a real good spot here.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better, you know?
Yeah. You're in the right place, guys. You're in the right place. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. So on that note, guys, thanks everyone for listening. We're going to be
thanks guys.
Once a week. We're going to be doing this for you. So
it's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, we're going to have lots of real badass guests, and we're going to be talking with failed traders, struggling traders, successful traders, non-traders. We're gonna be talking to everyone. It's going to be a good time. So appreciate it, guys. And thanks, Tino.
All right, buddy. Peace. I'll talk to you later on.
All right, buddy. Adios.
Okay, man.
Night, guys. Bye-bye.